Vampire Bruce here. I'll try to stay on for a little bit, but I doubt it's going to be a long stream, guys. I can hardly see, so very aggravated. We have a video, I have a big video I made also. But the good part is that each time I come on to do the live streams, in reality, I'm trying to reach some new people. And the more that they block me, the more I laugh at you trolls. I won. I exposed the entire moon before MUFON, before David Grush, before the government, before the Pentagon, before any ufologists, before any governmental association, So that's why they're blocking me, and I love it. Boing! I get my jollies when I see how much someone can hate me when in reality nobody hates me. It's one group of people, and it's all people with channels, UFO channels, the ones that you all go and see, by the way. Every one of the channels that you think are good channels, guaranteed, probably most of you are wrong with the channels. I got a lot of footage that takes down all the UFO channels here. They're all involved in money laundering. Most of them, I repeat, got all that proof too. So you channels better be very careful with what you mention about me, because I have a lot of stuff to bring up on you guys. And I sort of like the attention, I'll be honest with you. Nobody's showing this research. I'm the only one. So the ideal is having a live stream. If you are new to this channel, I come on even when I'm sick or have a sore eye. And you can see the moon being bombed. That's right, the bombing of the moon. Hey, Rumble. Hey, X Platform. I'm back on it, trying to share out the research. Yeah, well, I'm in a funny mood today. It's always the same story. The more they block me, the more I laugh about it. And it's going to be a little short stream, I think, with the eye today. We'll see. Maybe I'll stick around for 3 hours to piss off the trolls. Giggles. Who's here? We have Stephen A. first in the house. I salute you, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Bruce is here. Alex Fortier dans la maison. And of course, my friends, my Greek-speaking friend in Montreal, my friend Xander Mavro. Thank you very much, brother, for being here. Decanis. Must have said that with a hell of an accent. Cobalt Blue is here. So if you're new to this channel, I'm going to show you a moon, our moon, being bombed. Being bombed by who else? Who else do you want to be? It was NASA bombing the creatures there before they land. There's news about China that's also going to be landing on the moon. You think it's wet, my eye? It's not wet. It's dry. I'm trying to move my eye to follow the screen. It's much like a welding flash. You know when you get a welding flash, guys and gals, just to get dry, sandy feeling behind the eye. I get that continually throughout the year. When I've been fasting, I lost 115 pounds. When I started fasting, 90% of it went away. So now I tried eating more regularly, and the eye pain comes back. So I'll be back to fasting, and then the eye pain goes away. We all have something. Only second live in 3 years. I'm so excited. Cobalt Blue, you chose the bad day to come by with my eye. Now we have a good video today, and if you haven't seen Cobalt Blue yet, the moon being bombed by real spacecraft. Another thing that this research channel has been showing people over the years. Hey, Stoned Ape is in the house. Thank you very much for coming by. Appreciate that. I hope you are well today. Obviously, just as excited as I am, Stoned Ape, about the information coming out around the world with the UFOs and the news, and yeah, I'm pretty anxious. Chromatic, howdy, thank you, my friends. Flubber Lane in the house, right on, brother. Thanks for coming by. Niamor l'Ancien, hi guys, salut Bruce et les modos Niamor, merci beaucoup. C'est bien apprécié. Boom, Acaplamry, our friend. Sabinator in the house. Thank you very much, sir, for being here. What itchy eyebrow now? Can't be the food, eh? We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We have Danny here today. Absolutely, Stephen A. But they're getting caught in their lies, eh? What's up, gang? Mr. Riley's in the house. Ronnie, thanks for being here, Ronnie. Appreciate it. Bruce and gang. Nice to see you, Ronnie. Mr. Hauser's here. Darla in the house. Jules. Riley says, so I went to the earwax removed. I went to get earwax removed. I have a hole in my eardrum and have to do surgery. If I don't, I can go deaf. Absolutely do it. And obviously, well, it'll be a straight up procedure, simple enough. Yeah, earwax buildup and stuff like that can cause more problems than some people can think. And I don't know if you would probably know more than me, Riley, but a little suggestion: if you're using headphones, I heard this on Infowars about a doctor talking about earwax buildup. How these headphones. I don't know if it's particularly the one like the big ones I have that are on the outside or the ones that the earbuds they cause wax buildup, and it can cause a lot of wax buildup in the ear. So, like for example, somebody that does have earwax problems, Dr. Bruce here. See, that's why I appreciate you, man, and I appreciate you appreciating the research. Of course, nobody's showing it. There's not the History Channel showing it, but you see the pattern with Gaia and everything. They have like a lot of money's being brought in through Gaia, and there's a lot of people that got caught on that platform, right? Like what's it, Wilkes and everything, Wilkinson. I don't remember what his name is. A lot of people got caught. Even what's the other Corey? Lots of names that people kept mentioning to me, and you don't hear anything more about them because they got caught doing fraud. Some of them, right? And the ideal is to get the monopoly of the UFO video. So when I came online to show UFOs on the moon, I was showing it better than a lot of people and differently. So that right off the bat, channels that are showing space stuff feel affected. They feel that my channel is going to destroy their channel. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because um, it's important for my research to get out. I do not mind the people that come by and say that I'm always talking about the attacks or that I'm always talking about this. It's not something that I want to stop. It's something that I want people to catch on to. You know, we talk about abductions and kids disappearing by the many thousands in numbers. We wonder where these kids can go. Are they all just in ground being abducted, or are they being taken away in other places? Right? In the recent UFO reports, they are talking about bodies having been found in a UFO. They're also talking about masks in a UFO, which like to put someone to sleep and stuff like that. So, what do you think they're doing with the UFOs? And when we look up in the sky around the world, we look up and we see lights in the sky, and we all say, "Well, that's a UFO." Is that necessarily the same UFO that's abducting people? Is that, or is it just an entity or a spiritual entity? Right? I have religious people coming here, Catholic religious people that keep telling me, that there's no UFOs in the Bible. Be very careful. My brother talks a lot about that. And me, myself, I can tell you many areas in the Bible where there's that they're talking about UFOs. In ancient Catholic art, it's incredible, all the UFOs that are in the paintings. And we're not talking about paintings by any Tom, Dick, or Harry. We're talking about Leonardo da Vinci, paintings from professional painters that are in the Louvre in France. And it shows clearly spacecraft in the air. As a matter of fact, when you see one that I have shown here before, hi, Doreen. Thanks a lot, Doreen. And yeah, they talk about, sorry, don't talk, the painting shows spacecraft during Jesus's crucifixion. Could you imagine? Think of it. Think of that happening. Okay, that um, for hundreds, if not thousands of years, people aren't bringing that up. Oh, you could be sure each generation brings this up. They were talking like we are now about UFOs back in the day. As a matter of fact, I think ancient civilizations were far more advanced than us. Right? I saw something recently. You know, um, the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon. Someone recently sent up a drone along the Grand Canyon and saw an area of the Grand Canyon, guys, where there are massive blocks 30 feet tall by 30 feet, if not 32 or 33 feet wide, that are cut out of the mountain. The whole top of the mountain is cut out blocks. It looks like the Grand Canyon was built. No jokes. And there's even a part of the mountain where there's a big separation of the mountain and it's leaning forward that you could see if you bring the two mountain pieces together, they measure the same shape and form. They were lined up. So something definitely huge happened, big earthquake here long ago. We're going to look at also a UFO. Maybe you're familiar with it, but just recently out in the news now confirming more things. There's a UFO that was found in the bottom of the Baltic Sea that has stairs leading up to it. It looks like a UFO. They compare it to, I don't know, I don't really look at Star Wars. Last I saw of Star Wars was, just before my dad passed away in the 80s. Went to see the show, but anyways, it looks like a Falcon or the Millennium something. I have no idea what the name of the crafts are. We're gonna look at that together. And when you look at stairs that are built along, it doesn't mean it's a UFO, by the way. When you find something round in the bottom of the ocean, it doesn't mean it's a UFO, right? We assume things right away that it's a UFO. But you know what fascinates me, guys? If they found a UFO on Earth, and there were some, I believe, right on top of the surface or half buried, when somebody found that UFO, say the government, hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago, if it was before, I assume they had planes back then, seriously. But let's say they didn't, based on history, the lies that they tell us. If there were no flying objects back then, it would be less necessary to hide a UFO that's on the surface, so that people would know that it's something that flew and crashed during a space war or something. Now the Wright brothers come along, and then the UFO retrieval programs that are going on. That's another thing in the news. Every day I look at the internet for everything and anything that's related to UFO news updates, recent updates on David Grush's story, on all the over plus 50 whistleblowers. By the way, guys, there's so many whistleblowers that have already spoken. The Congress heard them, but it's all in these. It's a term that you'll hear a lot, a skiff, right? They talk in private. You can't talk to the public about these things, but they do want to dismantle the CIA and the three-letter associations in the States. That's definitely what they're doing. But a lot of people don't believe on the inside some agents are bringing out some of the truth. We can only hope that some agents on the inside are bringing out some of the truth. I, for one, do believe that in theory. Lunchtime and live stream. Awesome. Right on. Enjoy. Bon appetit. Bon appetit. All Aussie and Kiwis here have a blessed Anzac Day. Anzac Day. What is Anzac Day? Anzac Day is a national day of remembrance. Oh, really? Today? You mean to tell me that we don't even have the same Remembrance Day in all of our country? Well, of course not, because it's based on the dates of the countries. Remembrance in Australia and New Zealand that broadly commemorates all Australians and New Zealanders who served and died all wars, conflicts, and peacekeeping operations. I'm going to add secret projects. Anyways, and the contribution and suffering, of course, both to the families of all those who have served. Hats off to everyone who served around the world. But for today, all our New Zealander friends and Australians, as you said, Kiwis and, and Aussies. So absolutely. I did not know that. Learn something new every day, man. Leah, how are you doing? It should be a good stream. It should be a good stream. My eye always gets going. I always want to be safe at the beginning. Say if ever it could happen that I get off. You guys will wait. That's all. I'll be back on tomorrow if something happens, but I'm doing good so far. If the eye gets bad, we'll just jump into the video. No, seriously, guys, there's lots of news. Ultra sensitive photonic crystal detects single particles down to 50 nanometers. What does that have to do with my UFO research? You're going to say, studying photonic light. The problem that I have, about the boson Higgs particle, where they're trying to locate the smallest physical particle of energy, of mass that exists, to be able to go back to the Big Bang and to find out how the universe was created. Why do you think they want to do that? It's not good news. You don't want them to have that power. I'm going to shoot this out there also before we get into this real quick news about the ultra-sensitive photonic crystal detects single particle down to 50 nanometers. Let's get into it, actually. Using an ultra-sensitive photonic crystal, researchers were able to detect single particles down to 50 nanometers in diameter. That's no good. It's no good. The smaller they get, that means the closer they get to being able to use the energy in the solar system That's the scary thing, right? Type 1, type 2, type 3 civilizations. We talked about that also here a lot. What do volcanic lava, fire, smoke, automobile exhaust fumes, and printer toner have in common? They all are sources of ultra fine particles, particles with a diameter below 100 nanometers, which can pose serious health risks if inhaled. So that's obviously what they're spraying with the chemtrails. So stupid, eh? Due to their small size, ultrafine nanoparticles are difficult to detect. That's like paper fibers. I worked in paper, cutting paper, and it's very little fine particles that go into your lungs. Um, Nanoparticles are very much of the everyday world that we call home. For example, in medical testing, devices are available to check for nanoparticles like pathogens, biomarkers for disease such as cancer. I don't know why they'd want to find out, if we have cancer, if they're the ones giving it to it, but then either way. And in drug development, a host of nanoparticles are used to make the drug delivery systems of the future. So, long story short, the ultra-sensitive photonic crystal detects a single particles down to 50 nanometers. This is all related because of the UFOs. What did they find on Mars? Xenon. There's other elements in the atmosphere of Mars, and they would definitely not have been bragging about that one in particularly. Look up what xenon is. Look up um, where xenon comes from, what it is. It's the aftermath, biological aftermath, the residue of nuclear explosions. Quite a big nuclear explosion. As a matter of fact, there's a theory that goes along with it that there could have been a massive war, and there's even mention of bomb happy aliens that enjoy bombing planets, certain planets, which in 2014 a professional scientist says that it was inevitable. I remember that, for humans on planet Earth to be nuked by those exact aliens. I'm just telling you. Like I said, I repeat the news here. That's what a professional said. Ronnie, how are you? Hey, I hope you're okay, man. Sorry about that, brother. There's a few craters on the moon created by bombings. Yeah, you agree with that too. If you look at the moon, the craters were formed by something dropping overhead. Okay. If you do a little bit of research into here on Earth, what the characteristics and aspects are of the people in the field of study, geologists and whatnot, archaeologists, or when they're meteorologists, when they're studying asteroids and meteors, a meteor comes in sideways. Always, obviously, they never drop down. There's no craters here on Earth where it was a drop down. They're supposed to be cone shapes. Okay, because they come in and they're attracted, they lower, the gravity pulls them in, and then they hit. But often they can skim the ground, and they create this big line opening like in the Superman movie. But at the end, you have this accumulation of like the dirt that rounds at the end, and that's what forms a ridge of a crater. And that's why they say when you look at a crater here on Earth, you see a higher rampart. They say on the moon too, but it's really, it, I, it's overhead bombings. You know what a carpet bombing is during the military when they bomb the surface and they go by and they drop the bombs. Then you see the bombs in a line go pop, up, up, 2, 3 craters there, and then pop, up, up, 2, 3 craters a little bit further. If you look at the craters on the moon, they're aligned. There's up to 9, 12 craters side by side, the exact same dimensions. I zoomed in close enough to find out they have the exact same shape. You have Copernicus crater. You have 6 other craters that are identical to Copernicus and all the lines that are around it, which what makes you actually think that they could actually be mining setups. And there's not just mining going on the moon. There's a lot more stuff going on in the moon. A war. Uh, that's the second thing going on in the moon. Whether it's still happening or not, I don't know. I can only film the moon when I can, right? We can't film every day. Stephanie Black, salut à toi. Merci, Stephanie. Meditation Paradise Land, thanks for being here. Hey, Bruce and everyone, thank you for coming back, my friends. Always appreciate it. Right on. Canis Re. What do you used to tell me? He goes, Takanis, Bruce, Takanis, Polikala. I go, oh, polikala. I miss speaking Greek, man. Fax 1987. Thank you very much. I want to thank everyone on the X platform and Rumble platform for being here and taking the time to subscribe to the channel, by the way. So during the month, we have about 200 to 300 people that subscribe, but they all disappear. So it's all fake subscribers. I don't have any that stick around for an entire month. So by shooting that out there, it gets more people like Leah, like Jules, Darla, Fax 1987, Alex, Stephanie, all these people, amazing people that come by, take the time to subscribe to the. I hope you subscribe. It's not an obligation, but it's fun to have people that try to support the channel, especially since it exposes the entire moon. It exposes every government in the world, by the way. They're all going there. China's going there in 2029. I have a little report about that too. Thanks a lot, Jules. Nahi Hajar. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Greetings from Tasmania. Thank you. Thank you, Tasmania. That's awesome. Hey, hot weather in Oregon, gorgeous moon last night. Not me calling the bin. Well, I'll tell you what, there's 30-degree weather coming for this weekend. And when I wrote that this morning, I think in the community, a snowstorm started. It started getting really cold here. And now it's back up to like 10, 14 degrees. I don't know how much it is. But this weekend, Chrissy, they're announcing like 30 plus degree weather. I'm hoping to get UFOs this weekend. Hey, if you're new to the channel, guys, I'm filming my backyard. Hundreds of UFOs rising up every single clear night that I go outside. And I make a video every single night, seeing them rise from the tree. So you have to check out those videos. If you go back 10, 15, 20 videos, you'll pretty much see what this channel consists of and what type of research that you can see here. Well, thanks for coming in, everyone. Nope. Well, exactly. Rumble's supposed to be better than YT, but everybody knows it's impossible to hide me on Rumble, especially with this incredible research. But no. But hey, listen, guys. Maybe the research is. I'm trying to say this with a smile. Maybe the research is not interesting. Maybe people don't really care about the moon being filled with people, since NASA says there's nobody there. It's a lot more reassuring, believing a lie also. So we're gonna rub that one in there. Christopher Rollins, thanks, man. Star Hunter, thank you, buddy. Auntie Honey is here. I've been mooned. Hey, let me grab that coffee. Doo. Darn it. I had time to play my eye. I should play my eye while I was off screen. Eventually, that's what's going to happen. So we got a lot of people here today. Choose the day I have a sore eye. Jay Woodgate from British Columbia. Thank you very much. Jay Woodgate, any information on the frigging fires again that were started once again yesterday? We heard it on the news here for the first time. Apparently, fires were set. Well, we all know that happens. Like, there's no reason for forests to start burning. Like the sun's not the bad one, right? I think it is people. But yeah, heads up, people now. Hopefully, not another summer where people will have to be roaming around. Canada's got to go to bat there for its people. I tell you that. Ronnie, hi, man. Thank you very much. Heather, thanks for coming back, Heather. How are you, Heather? I love my lunches on Wednesdays when I get to hang with you fine folk and listen to the amazing revelations Bruce has to share. I thank you very much. Appreciate that. China on track for crewed moon landing by 2030. So if you're just joining the stream, that's what I do. Check the news out. This is news for today. I look on the Space News Channel. I look on weather reports for the sun and whatnot. I'm trying to give updates all the time about that. they're not talking about UFOs. They're really, really holding back a lot. So China on track for crewed moon landing by 2030. Space official says. China is on target to reach its goal of putting its astronauts on the moon before the end of the decade, according to the country's human spaceflight agency. Officials with China's Manned Space Engineering Office provided a rare update on crewed lunar program during a press conference of Wakhan Spaceport. April 24th. The program developed for major flight products, including the Long March 10 rocket, the Mengzhu crew spacecraft, the lunar lander Lang Yu, and the Me Lai to You. No, I'm sorry. I meant the Me Lai to You lander. That wasn't funny. And the lunar landing suits are all complete. They had to design suits, right? Because we never went to space, right? Said Ling. Well, she didn't say this, but she was talking about the post. Lin Kikiwang, deputy director of the other association I just mentioned. Their prototype production and tests are in full swing. Chinese officials previously announced a plan to put a pair of astronauts, a pair of asses, yes, on the moon before 2030. So they say they're going there in 2029. And don't forget, the lunar Artemis program was put back to 2027 so far, from what I heard. I don't know if they put it back further than that. If you're just joining, we'll be watching a video together. Short and sweet, 10 minutes, not to be too long for you all. I don't know. Might not. Yeah, I hear you. We all have something, eh? It's true. We all have something. There's always something wrong with us. Christy, hello to the community and everyone I missed. We love you, Christy. I love you to pieces. You know that. And I mean it. And I know you are always working, especially these days. Like right now, you must be going all out on the farm, setting up, getting ready. I hope it's not going to be the year I expect for the farmers. Will you be in your tractor at a protest, Christy, when all hell breaks loose? Let's not even talk about it, not to make it happen, actually. Cobalt Blue says, I finally reached my goal weight. I'm proud of you, my friend. Thank you very much for that. Lost 40 pounds. Thank you. So you knew I had lost weight. Thank you very much. Because of Bruce's inspiration for intermittent fasting. Absolutely. I feel better than I did in my 20s. Cobalt Blue, I'm 49, and I admit it. I feel absolutely great. Sure, I got the eye problem, but as for the health, no more sore legs, no more sore backs. No more swollen ankles. Imagine having swollen ankles in your 40s. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Couldn't even put on socks that were tight. It would my socks were a little too tight because I have big feet. But honestly, yeah, was not good health-wise for that. As for the black eyes, I've always had those. I mean, that's you can't judge by someone's health by looking at his face. Oh, black eyes, heroin addict, crack addict. No. Oh, rotten teeth. No, it doesn't. Not all people with rotten teeth have coke. I have nice white. I have beautiful white teeth and one crooked one. Still white. Coffee. You guys enjoying your coffee? Mark, thank you. Wilcox. Was it Cox, eh? Wilcox, OX, I think, or Wilcox, yeah. The one with the alien head. A bit bigger alien head. But, a lot of those people got caught doing a whole bunch of stuff. The smaller ones, they close the airway completely because your inner ear to sweat, wax, melts, goes back in. Yes, with the vibration of the music. Once, well, that's it. And then out dries and you restart. Well, that's it. With those headphones, apparently not good. The headphones at all. They design stuff to kill us, basically. Yes. Rainwater's here. Thank you very much. So I'm going down the list here. Right on, brother. Susan Ravella, how are you doing? Oh, I forgot my lights today. Bruce's research is mind-bending. The normie can't handle. They really can. And listen, I got to thank the very few of you that jump in with me and laugh at the trolls. And boy, I tell you, I can't stand writing troll posts. But the more that they tell me to stop, I do the opposite. I do the opposite of what they say. Maybe people should start saying, Bruce, more troll posts. We love them. And I'll say, I don't feel like posting troll posts. Joël Saint-Jean, comment ça va? T'es-tu prête pour la fin de semaine qui va faire chaud, chaud, chaud? On va plonger dans des 30 degrés Celsius. On va monter, pas plonger, monter. Thank you, Joël. Should I recommend hearing aids or get it fixed? Get it fixed, man. Be back to normal. It'd be like new. It'd be like a brand new womb. It'd be like I'm not going to say it. Keep us posted, brother, on that. We are. Stephen, one day they will. One day they will ask. Okie dokie, full moon in Ireland tonight. Oh my gosh. Hopefully here too. Unfortunately, there are too many clouds and chemtrails. Well, isn't that a mystery? Isn't it odd that you live so far away from me in beautiful Ireland, by the way? I wish bucket list. Yeah, same thing. The damn chemtrails are pretty bad. A couple of you have noticed also that the chemtrails seem to be doing some different things in the sky. A lot of you have been noticing that too and catching them yourselves. We're about to jump into video here. All the paintings have UFOs, spaceships during Jesus' time. Imagine. Yeah. And we're going to look at a few of them real quickly, some of the best ones together in the video right now. These skinny skeletal grays simply do not have the muscle mass to mine. That's very true, Mark. I've mentioned that many a times. Melt, carry heavy loads. So who's doing all the heavy lifting? That's what I think. I think that aliens need us because we're perfect for them. If they have this, I keep mentioning this. Imagine if aliens have the same monetary system as us. Like a queen with big eyes or something on it. Who knows, right? Seriously, if different species are coming here, it's going to be back like in the days with the fur trade, or there's a real monetary thing, or it's just a business deal. Obviously, they come here, they probably throw in a few kids for them or whatever. I mean, I'm getting maybe brought, far-fetched or caught away into the real story, but I don't know, guys. We have no idea, what the story consists of, exactly what they are doing, but they definitely don't, Mark, have the capacity to do any lifting whatsoever. As a matter of fact, they're not even friggin' talking. But what would be the best way to create a hybrid of warriors to do something? Spies, most likely, retrieval, cutting cows. Maybe they can handle cows, those little grays. You'd have to see one day one of those cows lying on a dead gray alien where the other ones got away, couldn't pull their buddy out from the cow under the cow's ass. We can laugh about it, but you're absolutely right. They have no muscle mass or anything. So if it is true that they don't have genitalia, no genitals or sex, and that they still, it's just hearsay, I know. But a lot of you know this too. They say they don't eat, right? You hear stories of them, soaking in baths to absorb, in their bodies, the liquid. Well, fish, obviously, in these are when I look at a gray alien, I wouldn't be surprised if they're some type of frog or fish. And come to a lot of conclusions with that, but they're definitely not doing any work. So, what do you do to a hybrid or warrior that you want to work for you all the time and not have cravings or urges like even a glass of water or eating? Every couple of hours, a human being is going to take a break to eat something, even if they're in space or in another dimension, right? They're going to want to eat something, right? So you design a race of living beings, create in a laboratory, mixed with other parts or DNA from other animals. Possibly, I can only imagine how much genetics was manipulated to have that done. And no sex, no food, nothing, no soup for you. You go to Earth, and you can sit there for hours and ages. You don't need sleep. You're just sitting there. Don't need to smoke cigarettes or nothing. Just sitting there doing anything. Send astronauts from Earth to another dimension. Send 100 of them. Guaranteed there's not 100 that come back. Guaranteed there's one rogue that decides wants to keep going further or something, right? But if they're controlled, those grays, that's the scary part because they're trying to mind control us. They've been doing mind controlling and MK Ultra research. Even DARPA got caught in 2014 doing mind control. Did you know that? DARPA. And that, you see, a lot of you ask me, how the hell could Bill Gates and just these regular people turn around and become so powerful and stuff? It's a hidden cult. It's definitely a secret group of billionaires that are involved in this. Apparently, 194 countries signed to everyone, by the way, out of what, 230 countries around the world, it not including the countries that are not known. There's a country in Russia, by the way, it's not even known. Hey, bro, thank you very much. Crazy Music Space Jam. And with your other channel too, man, Elias. Crazy Music Space Jam, as you all know, is where we wind up on the weekends to check out his music collection. And we stream in English and French every time on weekends that he has a stream. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate that. Just about ready for the video, my friends. Full moon last night, says Stephen A. My girlfriend has been getting, hello to your girlfriend, man, has been getting me to bring out my $50 telescope that you can barely focus with to look at the moon. No, I hear you on it, but still, you never know what you can see when you can see something. All scopes see things, you know. Doreen Johnson, it's another one of my dreams to be able to go to Area 51. Right up to Tikaboo Point with my infrared cameras and a tent and some protection and film the sky of events there. I can only imagine if I was close to there. Hey, New Zealand this morning just launched up a rocket. Didn't know they were doing that too, seems. So, right on the island, by the way. Interesting. Spaceport on the island of New Zealand? Millennium Falcon. I think that's the one. We'll be looking at it. The one at the bottom of the Baltic Sea, by the way, which is about to start. John Black, bro, thank you for being here, my brother. Yeah, bro. And you get yourself a Maksudov cost grain of about 6 inches, approximately 2K. You get a Celestron one, but if you want one that's half the price, don't get a Celestron. It doesn't mean half the price. It's not good quality. It's that the more you pay, the more quality that you have. But it doesn't mean the other makes that are not Celestron are not good quality. Darla, thank you so much. Jules, thank you. Thank you so much. I laugh because the little bit of salary that I make here with the ads and stuff like that. Well, at the end, it was a number the other day. It was 1122, and I said, "Oh, that's because I'm getting some 111s and 222s." Thanks, you guys. Thanks, Darla. Thanks, Jules. That is a lot, guys. I'm telling you, that really helps. If everyone was given $1, I can only imagine how quick, eh? George Klaus in the house. I'm 50 miles west of DC, and I can't smell the lies from here. That's perfect. Stay where you are. I bet you can see the smoke though, right? No, I hear you, man. The crap that's going on. Eyes on America for sure. I've been watching States, France, everywhere. Australia, what's going on? You know, it's horrible how Australia is really trying to, we'll find out fast enough. Thanks, brother. It is rarest UFO research on the internet, and that's why they're hiding me. Iridium Kush in the house. I thank you very much. And to all that are new to this channel, subscribe. You'd think if there's 245 people here, there might be some new people. Wind must be coming my way. Yeah, you're right about that, Ohio. Grip Rippers in the house. Mr. X indeed is here. You are Bruce. Good evening, friend. Only just realized I was missing out. Thank you very much for being here, brother. I'm going to start that video in a second, guy. Give me a sec. Give me a second. Evelyn is here. We're back. We'll do the video right away, guys. Plain in my eye. Thanks for the contributions, everyone. I really appreciate that. Darla, 111-222-333. Oh, yeah, OCD. Someone the other, was it Leah or someone's go, oh, it does things in 3. She goes, OCD. I said, well, ring it. Thank you, Darla. Appreciate that, you guys. Let's get into that video, my friends. I will share the screen. It's a 10-minute video. Please listen in, everyone. Don't worry too much about the trolls. You guys listen in. Won't be much on Rumble either. Person taking a dump on the lawn in front. Got a smile, you know. Let things happen. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Thanks for listening in, y'all. Let's get into the research. So there's some news updates. There's also a bit of my research and a bit of everything. Let's get into it. Thanks for listening, everyone. Subscribe because the audio may not work. I'm kidding.
In UFO news, lots is coming out right now, everyone.
Baltic Sea.
Be vigilant and look around. UFO from Ross Coulthard and a lot of news coming out. This one here in the news about the Baltic Sea, UFO-like structure with stairs was discovered at the bottom of the Baltic Sea.
Yeah.
Scientists believe they have finally established the truth behind one of the world's greatest deep-sea mysteries. Back in 2011, Swedish explorers Peter Unberg and Dennis Asperg were combing the Baltic Sea for treasure when their sonar radars detected a jaw-dropping structure lying nearly 300 feet, 90 meters, beneath the waves. The object was circular with a diameter measuring approximately 200 feet.
I mentioned it after. Obviously, this must be an illustration. I'm just shooting that out there. You will see the real overhead shot, which doesn't look exactly like that, but yeah.
60 meters. The Discovery Channel reports. Take that with a grain of salt. The UFO has angular lines, leading many to liken it to the iconic Star Wars starship, the Millennium Falcon.
The Millennium Falcon. I couldn't even say it. Guys, you know that they are doing X-rays and sondes to the surface of the Earth to find out about its core, and they're also scanning the surface, and they found thousands of civilizations that are buried everywhere. So eventually, in the coming years, guys, this is definitely some of that's going to come out. New civilizations that are buried and whatnot. I mean, I think they're just hiding all the alien and giant stories to it. Maybe fallen angel story, you know, whether you're religious or not. You don't have to be religious to believe in a dragon.
What comes to mind to me, in theory, when I see this based on intuition or common sense, pretty much, why would there be stairs connecting the ground leading up to this, what they call spacecraft, which still could be just a base, right? The shape, okay, anything around what we find at the bottom of the ocean, we might say, well, it's a UFO. But honestly, it might not be. But here's what I think. If it is a UFO, and the water levels were way lower back in Egyptian times, let's say, would they not build stairs up to this massive UFO that was always just sitting there where people would go up and visit and or pray on it to, you know, reach aliens in the sky? Don't forget, I believe that ancient civilizations were far more advanced than us. So I just see this as being a UFO craft that was on Earth a long time ago, before people knew about flying vehicles. Think of it. If there's a flying saucer on the surface, nobody's going to assume it came from the sky when they see the shape, right? If no one's ever seen a UFO, think of it. Don't forget, we're backing up a long time ago.
Could be an alien base.
Like that, with the stairs. It could have been, you know, before the waters had risen and whatnot on Earth, and that they were quite simply building it like a monument, or maybe it is a monument. Maybe it's a monument to a UFO. Anyways, I could, you know, talk for hours about this. Let's get into the other shot that they're showing us, which I hope it's not an illustration. It probably is. So is this. Let's check it out.
This is supposedly the real one.
They were thinking that what they found was not a wreck. At that time, they thought for sure It was a natural explanation. Can you imagine that? They wanted to look into it some more and decided to keep this totally quiet, of course, like they do with everything. They contacted geologists, marine biologists, and when they said had never seen anything like this, of course, ever in their lifetimes or careers, more thoughts were triggered. It could be something really awesome that they found. Definitely something awesome. The enigmatic nature of the find prompted a flood of speculation, with some netizens suggesting it could be remains of an ancient civilization. Others convinced it was the shell of a UFO, and others even posting that it could have absolutely been a hidden Nazi weapon at the entrance to a secret World War II bunker.
I doubt it, though.
So they said the image before this, the blue one, was the actual sonar image hiding right in front of us. Ancient Catholic art. What's this all about? You know what's happening there, the crucifixion. But what's on top on each side of it? I've shown this before here. This is just a quickie because it's just hilarious, honestly hilarious. I believe if aliens are hiding objects, like the government can hide objects, they'll hide it right in town, in some regular small town. Like, for example, where the hidden UFO is, I'm so passionate about finding out. We'll find out about some of this soon. So a star ship, a spaceship with a star on it, also another star in front of it, like it's driving the ship. Here, this.
There's another one here. And I'm not going to hide it. It could simply mean that there are people from the stars, right? And they just threw in a spaceship, but that painter's pretty good to have come up with a shape of something to fly. Like, how did he know that the nose would have to be pointy and, around back here and at last to see outside? And what's this? What are these? What are these? Very odd that they would have known that, I just think it's crazy that hundreds of years ago, by the way, some of these are 1700s, like 1500s.
Like it's driving the ship. Here, this is rare religious paintings and famous ones by famous people. And you can see even the guy who is looking up with his dog.
As a matter of fact, right? I think that might even be the Last Supper. If I'm not mistaken. If not, go to the Last Supper and you'll see a guy out on the bank there. I think he's with a dog and he's looking up at the crowd. This could be the one.
Here, deliberately holding up his hand so that people can see that he's looking up at the object in the sky. Most likely a UFO. Can't make this up, right? You can see here more objects that are rising up. It's the center focal point of the image, just like it's all deliberate to see. Also looks like an eye, whatnot. Anyway, you can come up with a lot of different theories. Analyzing this, just looks like a regular image. It's not. It's ancient Catholic art depicting literal space people, right? They don't look like the space people we draw. They're like humans. That could mean something. Ross Coulthard at News Nation. Speaking of Vatican and the UFO relationship to what is in the archive. As you all remember, I hope, David Grush previously claimed the Vatican was part of a UFO cover-up, and I believe it. There's a Vatican press office has not responded for comment, and Vatican may be waiting for U.S. to respond first, says Ross Coulthard. Following recent claims from David Grush, a U.S. Air Force veteran and also the one in charge of a secret UFO program, right, that an unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAP, was recovered from Magenta in 1933, a town near Milan, before becoming a U.S. possession with the help of the PayPal state.
So who was in charge back then? You'll see.
It did help. When asked, David Grush said explicitly whether he was saying the Catholic Church knew about the existence of alien life. Grush responded, certainly. They knew. Pentagon whistleblower claims, David Grush, Vatican helped U.S. retrieve UFO from who? Yeah, Benito Mussolini.
They killed
Now
him.
we're going back into the early 1900s. Think of it. David Grush, 36 years old, an Air Force veteran and former intelligence official, claimed the Vatican was involved in the first ever mission of America's alleged top secret UFO retrieval program.
They're all in it
Grush,
together.
however, did not provide any evidence for these claims, but I'll tell you why. He's not the one that saw this. He has credible people coming out, though. 1933 was the first recovery in Europe, they say, again in Magenta, Italy. He told News Nation this on a Sunday to Ross Coulthard, of course, during the many meetings with him. They recovered a partially intact vehicle, and the Italian government moved it, well, this is interesting, to a secure location. The Pope back-channeled that and told the Americans what the Italians had, and we ended up scooping it. Grush said on the alleged post-war mission.
We killed
The
him too.
so-called whistleblower claimed that the Vatican.
Hello.
So again, David Grush.
Hello.
Again, David Grush.
Hello.
So David Grush claims the Vatican certainly was aware of alien existence and that UFO sightings over Italy during Mussolini's dictatorship were widely known. So David Grush claims the Vatican certainly was aware of alien existence and that UFO sightings over Italy during Mussolini's dictatorship were widely known. Benito Almacari Andrea Mussolini, the 29th of July, 1883, was born, died the 28th of April, 1945, an Italian dictator who founded and led the National Fascist Party. And yeah, he was also prime minister of Italy. So you can imagine that these people were dealing with UFO technology. And basically, every single war we've ever had on this planet was probably because of a UFO event. If you ask Google what the first house with electricity in the United States was and when, they say it was built in 1882. This was the first system of central electricity designed by Thomas Edison, and it was the first private residence in the nation powered through hydroelectricity. So if you look at the date, at the end of the 1800s, not long after that, we're hearing about Mussolini dealing with UFO craft, giving it possession to the states of these vehicles. I mean, that's the date also where Pentagon, so based on what John Lear said, that everybody here on Earth knew about UFOs. And hey, maybe this is when they started the retrieval programs. You know, I tend to think that UFOs were retrieved many, many, many thousands of years ago. What if electricity, the ideal of electricity, comes from alien retrieval programs that back engineered alien vehicles? Tim Burchett, congressman from Tennessee, representing Tennessee, the state of Tennessee, said just hours ago, if they are investing that much money, millions, if not billions, okay?
These are UFOs being shot at on the moon, and you're going to see one shooting at other vehicles or living organisms in the lunar atmosphere.
That much money, millions, if not billions, okay, into these secret projects and programs, whatnot, that supposedly don't exist, it says a lot. They're a bunch of liars in reality. If they're spending money with the programs, why would they be spending money with the programs? And if they're not speaking out about it and they're actually admitting to wanting to hold back the truth, well, I think it's pretty much speaking for itself. This is a UFO coming out of a crater on the surface of the moon, getting shot at. This is one shooting at objects moving in the atmosphere lower. And you can see quite a few objects moving down there. Wasn't an easy shot to get, but boy, let me tell you, ouch, hurts.
That's the only video in the public. If anyone has a video of a UFO shooting at the moon, let me know. There's no other one.
Ants warfare. There's a massive war going on up there. Probably many deaths. They're shooting at biological living organisms that are flying around the atmosphere, if not the creatures that live there entirely, maybe cleaning up to get the bases.
I'm not even mentioning it. There's another UFO there following this one. There's another UFO beside it. You see it, the UFO, by the way, to the right of this one? Keep watching. You'll see it 3 times and you'll never not see it again.
Atmosphere, if not the creatures that live there entirely, maybe cleaning up to get the bases started and everything. You know, are you
It'll
understanding
appear.
a little bit of what this can bring to the table as for a theory? There's lots of theories on the moon landing and nobody ever saw it. Imagine a theory seeing this. There's no theories needed. It's a UFO shooting at another UFO. There's another one close by also that we can see it shooting out something. It shoots out something the size of itself. Oh, and I've been observing a lot.
Here's something I never mentioned, but those of you who have been following me for a long time will know. I've shown an object like a sack or something breaking up, letting out gas, and that's exactly what they are. It's an object inside of something around it, and whether it be a field of energy or something, it breaks up. They break themselves up, and some of them even shoot to the
It
surface.
shoots out something the size of itself. Oh, and I've been observing a lot of lunar landings. There's a lunar landing going on probably every day and night, all the time. It never stops. Like we leave the surface in our planes, they leave the surface in their UFOs. Completely different to our understanding of our system here, most likely. Of course, some of this is going on here, but remains very secretive. There's so much that you're going to see just in this stream video. Should reach hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. Here's another descent. It's a vehicle with fire coming out of it, going down to the surface. Here's a UFO causing a massive plume of smoke with other UFOs hiding in it as it crosses over the surface. And say to yourself, all these things are going on at the same time as the explosions and fires that we're seeing, right? Smoke plumes coming from behind spacecraft, not only descending to the moon, but going in the atmosphere of the moon and leaving the surface. So we're talking about a civilization up there. And if the governments are hiding that truth from us, like this explosion here of 3 massive bombs that hit the surface of the moon, where you see the smoke rise up, there's a war up there. And if you tell me there's not a war, okay, they're just testing 100 miles wide a massive light that appears and that causes smoke to appear. If you feel safer inside your little heart in denial that it's not happening, it is. A lot of you tell me they're saying that there was a war on the moon. Where do you think they came up with that information? These spacecraft are bombing the moon. Why? I don't know, but I got the visual proof. There are the bombs falling, 2 or 3 at a time, illuminating the entire surface, hundreds of miles wide, seeing a whole bunch of other living organisms flying around as all this is happening right beside us, not on a planet, on what they call is a dead moon. We get mainly fake subscribers here throughout the month, hundreds of them, and they all unsubscribe at the end of the month. So to piss them off a little more, subscribe and stay on the force. Join the community. Come to the streams. This is what the trolls want you to stop doing. Thanks for being here.
Subscribe to my channel, please. Good research. And there we go. That wasn't too painful, I hope. Jules. Gosh. Thank you so much, guys. Oh, the trolls are gonna hate you this week and say Jules is commenting. Well, look at her with her 777. You guys, too much. I love it. Oh, you jumped over the other number. Smart lady. Appreciate that. Thank you, Jules. Thanks, everyone. Grip Ripper, thanks again for being here, man. Mr. X indeed is here. Effects of nuclear explosions. Absolutely. Xenon on Mars. It's pretty incredible. That only is produced by massive nuclear explosions. Alex, that would explain the overhead bombing of the moon, which, by the way, there's also craters on Earth's side, you know. Could have been a war with the moon and Earth also. Or the moon came by in the perfect timing, guys. God, think of the beautiful thing that happens. The sun started reacting, was just about to flash and to blow the hell out of Earth, but the moon was there, and all the craters started bombarding the moon, right? And then after that, the aliens decided to land there and said, hey, they just dug out our bases for us. And they started mining. Imagine mining all those bombed areas. Imagine free, no work to do, no labor to do. Because aliens, like you say, if they're gray aliens, are definitely not down there with shovels, shoveling anything. They're not doing any physical work whatsoever. But could they hire humans to do physical work? Well, of course, because humans, that was big. I don't know what the hell that was. Hope it's not my hair now or anything. Humans are perfect workers to work for aliens, because if aliens are more advanced than us and they can give something back to the humans that are working, well, it could be that that's why humans are working, for aliens, getting paid, so to say, in a certain way, by obviously the humans that are paying. It's not the alien that's going to open up a little metallic wallet with the moon picture on it and just give you some credit. But there's a monetary system in the moon. I've been talking about it since 2016. Definitely a monetary system on the moon. But our monetary system here, much like fur trade, hey, we had Ninta Pinta Santa Maria. You had Christopher Columbus trying to check to see if Earth was flat or not, which could very well be, and maybe afraid to go off the edge of Earth, he said, whatnot. All those things were being tested. So back in the days, hundreds of years ago, they were with sails and ships exploring new worlds, right? Well, new islands on Earth. But that's exactly what we're doing in space now. We're at the beginning of time of space travel. First 1,000 of years of space travel for humans, for sure. I hope so. And we're going to have to learn from aliens, obviously. How else the hell could we be able to leave Earth? We're not capable of leaving Earth, by the way, because professional scientists tell us we can only get to 600 kilometers up. That's where you see the rockets turning. They're going up to the moon. Hey, you see them go up and how come they're going that way now? They're going towards Antarctica. How come? What the fuck? How come they're going that way when the moon? Can't they just go straight out? Nope. They got different ways that they've been trying to leave the orbit. They said for the first time, even it was China or Japan, that we're trying to bounce out of the atmosphere. So why all of a sudden all these tests to be able to, for the first time, be able to leave Earth's atmosphere? They're not doing good with the tests, guys. They're not doing good at all with the test. There's always a valve problem before they even take off or whatnot. I can only imagine the problems that astronauts are going to have if they're going to be continually going to space. We can't keep planes in the air. We can't keep planes in the air here. They're always crashing. How the hell are we going to keep people in space, going to space? Watch the debris. One collision. Watch the debris all over. One collision with a spacecraft and some other spacecraft, or Russia bombs us or something like that in space, and that's it. There'll be debris all around Earth. They're going to collide with other debris. We got shit like rockets up there with like chemicals and toxins inside of these secretive, rotting. Well, not rotting, because they say there's no rot in space. I don't believe it. If they got moss growing on the ISS, on the outside of the ISS space station, I can only imagine how much vegetation there is on the moon. I believe the moon is completely vegetated. This, complete vegetation, probably overgrown ridiculously on the moon. Overgrown. No, not in the cold regions, but in the warmer regions for sure. Thanks again, everyone. Listening to many challenge anyone to listen without their foot moving. If you're like me, I bounce my leg up and down usually. When I'm doing my research, it's bouncing up and down. I promise it's my leg. Or is it something else bouncing? No, I'm kidding. Accounts canceled due to breaking community guidelines. Lol. Speaking the truth. Yep, that's what happens. You speak the truth, and they block you and take you down. unfortunately. Evelyn Saba, how are you, my dear friend from New Zealand? That's right, guys. On Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern, I live stream twice. I'd love to see you join in the conversations. Maybe you want to talk about the research also. We have a lot of fun here at the streams. Got a lot of videos. Remedy 59. Hey, thank you very much. Exactly, George. Why are all the craters round? They're all round and they all have a center spot and they'll have a bigger round part on one side and they all have lines going to them. I mean, those lines, which I believe is that they are smoking the surface of the moon. I made such an incredible video. I worked my ass off on that one. I wonder, I still have that one here. Smoke mechanism. Is it that one? Let's see here. No. But real quickly. There's Kai's favorite. UFO. Oh, I love this part too. These are two UFOs coming down to go under this incredible haze on the surface of the moon that everybody thinks is the surface, which it is not. What we can see, that's the surface, but then you see the UFO go down and it goes beneath that gray surface, obviously because of the smoke and haze. I believe there's a complete film over the moon that is causing these UFOs to be able to descend into those smokes and hazes. And again, I have a smoke mechanism video. I believe they're actually smoking the surface with those pipes and tunnels. And when UFOs come over top of their bright lights and smoke, and they're just absolutely impossible to see as they descend down to the surface, as you're literally seeing a UFO descending. Here's one that multiplies itself, doubles itself up in two. This is one of the favorite things to show is a UFO taking off on the moon. Look at the massive fire and look at the smoke line behind it. And I'll show it to you a little bit faster. One of my favorite captures, of course, it's an accumulation of many captures. Hey, check it out. See, already, I don't know what's going on here. There's another light here, okay? Before this UFO propels itself. You're going to see the little object, the UFO here, a mile wide, and the whole outcome of it all is about 3 miles wide. But there's another UFO here. There's another UFO there. So all this is not the surface. You're looking at a smoke and haze. And when I started zooming up close to that, I started being able to show that, the moon is literally being smoked. So watch what happens with the UFO. This is a UFO taking off on the surface or in the atmosphere of the moon. You see a massive plume of smoke at the back. We see that little black dot there, which is the craft itself. It's definitely a craft, right? Or you can say it's a biological creature, sure, but it's hundreds of miles wide. Look what happens. Plume of smoke. And if I do it fast, I mean, it really see what's going on here. It's thrusting itself up as it crosses on the pulsable, as it crosses across the surface of the moon. It's just clear evidence. And I've filmed over 250 of those lights lifting up. And most people at one point started saying, that's the same bloody light. Yeah, because it's like when you go to Ford, when you buy a car at Ford, are they producing all different models? No, they're producing the same models that they have. A couple of models, like 15, 20, 30 models, and people buy them. So you'll see a lot of cars on the auto route that of the same type of car. Well, on the moon, maybe they're selling UFOs. I don't know, but yeah, lots of research. So I was looking for the smoke mechanism. Oh, it didn't work because I put in the capital M. What did I write? Smoke system? Damn, I got too many videos. I don't even know what the titles are anymore. What's this one? Oh, well, that's the explosion. You see one more. one more second here. So we can see the explosion really well here. So basically, the UFOs that I just showed you that are appearing in the atmosphere, in the smokes and hazes, you could see some green around the surface there. I mean, guys, the ground is green there. It's got to be vegetation. It looks like patches and stuff. But again, there's no proof that I have here. So this smoke here becomes even smokier and gets even brighter when those three lights appear. And if it's not a UFO that dropped those bombs, well, quite simply, you have three UFOs on the surface that are getting ready to take off. Hey, there's so much to see. There's even one that appears there. There's more UFOs around there. See, we saw it. Watch. There it is. Three lights, 1, 2, and 3 that appear inside of the smoke. And you can see that smoke, it's the freaking explosion, guys, on the moon that happens. And it's happening all over the moon. Whatever the hell they're doing, I don't know. But it's not just one incident where you could see the bombing of something. They're dropping shit down there. So say to yourself, if craters, now what did I do here? Look at the exposure down. See how obvious it is? Look at this. What's that? So continually, when I get closer in my research and when I bring the exposure down, you start seeing signs of even more UFOs. You can see they're at different levels. That's why I believe that you see different sizes of them. Some of them have propulsion systems behind them. Some of them don't. Some of these objects could very well be debris also, because I have no proof that it's all necessarily manned spacecraft, right? Maybe none of them are, but still it's not being shown. See that? There's objects going towards the explosion here. That's what fascinates me. All these other lights. You can see a big spot, black there, that appears right beside after that explodes. It's got to be the UFOs taking off or something. That could be what hides the surface. Maybe a UFO lands right, and you can laugh all you want. Maybe a UFO lands in the center of that, and these are smoke mechanisms or a system around it where they can land. And obviously, if we have GPS guidance, I don't think they need to see the ground to be able to land in the right spot, right? Considering they'd be thousands of years more advanced than us. So I'm really disappointed I didn't see the hypothesis. What did I put that under? Yeah, really pissed me off, but I'll show it next stream. Can't show too many things, because if you show too many things, then, you know. Star Hunter in the house. How come no one else sees these things on the moon? It's because of the processing. So the way I'm doing it, it's a unique processing that's not too complicated to do. It's long to do by slowing down the footage. One, if you don't have a $10,000 telescope, mine's now the price of it now. My telescope, if you want to go get one, is almost 20,000 US now. By the way, it went up over $10,000. Okay, you need a good telescope. I have a Nikon D850. It's a $10,000 camera that's at the back. We're up to $30,000 of equipment, right? So that's the sad part, is that you need good equipment to be able to see the surface, but it's only patience. Slowing it down. They're there in everyone's footage. But the problem is, and I repeat myself all the time, bro. I mean it, Jeff, because that's a hell of a good question that you ask. It makes sense there. If you were, if you're smart, you're going to ask that question. The UFOs that you're going to see with your smaller telescopes is going to be, take my little Optimist Club pin here. I don't go to the meetings anymore. I'm poor. I give money every time we go. I don't have any money. Started out when I came into town here, for the kids, raise money for the kids. So long story short, Optimist Club pin. That little point at the end, only the little point that's going through the end of my finger there. You can hardly see that little point. That's how big they're going to be in your screen. It's going to be a smudge in your screen. If it's going by fast, it's going to go like this. You'll never see it. But when you start filming a crater or something like Copernicus, and you want to slow down the footage so you can pan across it really slow, you're going to see that now you're clearly seeing UFOs doing a long trajectory right across the craters. But if you don't bring down the exposure, you're still not going to pick them up. And when you pick them up, you're going to pick up what I'm picking up, smudges, right? I've been able to show shapes of the spacecraft, which we're lucky to have been able to get the shapes, guys. They look like a bell, they look like squares, some are elongated. But the reason why other people are not getting them, I believe, Jeff, that the professionals are getting them a lot better than me. They're probably saying, wow, he's getting the real things. He's not able to show them as clearly as us, but he's still getting some of the things that are up there. And the people that have smaller telescopes, well, have you ever heard of the lady that was able to take pictures with any camera, and that she was able to have always alien figures and anomalies show up in her image? I know a lot of you know her, probably don't know the name. Maybe some of you do know her name, but she was a woman back in the 60s, maybe even before, I think in the 60s. And they tested her, giving her several cameras, and she was always able to see bloody UFOs in her images. So maybe I'm a person that is able to see those things when I use a camera, because look at it the way you want. I'm filming UFOs by the hundreds in my backyard, and I'm able to show UFOs here on Earth, and I'm able to show UFOs on the moon. My goal starting this channel was to show the moon close up and to show the stars. I found lights leaving a star in Draco constellation. Learned about the constellations. Then I heard the theories about Draco and the reptilians and whatnot. I still wasn't interested in that, but I knew for a fact that, you know it, guys, if you see once with your naked eye a light leaving the moon, never in your lifetime will you ever doubt that there could be somebody there. So that's quite simply what happened. But if I'm the only one showing these things, and I am, it could be because I'm channeling something. It could be because I'm chosen to be able to, and not the chosen one, but chosen for a mission, like we all are, I believe here, chosen for a mission, God's mission, to be able to show something to other people. Maybe for me to learn something. My dad died. Something happened that I was protected by these beings, and they're all around me. They're in the house. I film fires in the house also. Very scary, guys. Jeff, the way I was able to show the fires in my house, real sparks, UFOs in the house, was by bringing down the exposure and by slowing it down, because I was looking at the phone yet again, something that was happening beside the phone. When I slowed down the footage, I started seeing the sparks in the house. So it's almost every time that it was when I slowed down the footage that I started seeing a lot of these things. I'm an honest person. I'm visually showing what's on the moon. So somebody said, well, get it more than once. You'll see Bruce will not get it more than once, because most people get UFOs and then they stop. And it could have been, listen, I went 4 months without filming UFOs. A lot of you know that I've been filming me since the beginning. The 4 months where the UFOs stopped was right before the pandemic. Exactly before the pandemic. During the pandemic, the UFOs stopped. They started recently, back after, during more the end of the pandemic. Right? Maybe they were afraid to get sick, right? Or something. But again, there's lots of different incidents and events of UFOs. The ones that the Pentagon are shooting down with their sensors, or the military, whoever's doing it, it might not be the ones that I'm seeing here, or it might be the ones that I'm seeing here. But if you see a real ship in Ukraine hovering in the sky and you see lights, those are two different objects, right? Like, why is there a UFO that's not surrounded by photonic light? And why do you have a UFO that's surrounded by photonic light? Well, it's because it's two different objects. It's two different objects. Did you know that in the ocean, those that are really studying, oceanographers, astrobiologists, they're studying the aliens in the oceans, and they call them just that there are alien creatures that they believe that are in our oceans that possibly are not from our Earth. They're looking at their DNA. They're doing a lot of stuff. And of course, they don't talk about this to the public, but I wish they would more, because we get so much truth coming out. I believe that in theory, I find it an interesting theory. I like pondering around the fact that I think the Bible, that they left out the fact that it was alien related when it came to the coming of Christ or whatnot. And I have no proof about it. I don't feel like I'm here to have to prove it either. I think it's an interesting theory. I can appreciate all theories. That one for me is something very interesting, though. Yeah, that's exactly like I said, carpet bombings in the military where they are. You probably maybe even said it before me before I said it, but my research consists of that. I said it in 2017 that the moon was carpet bombed. I showed carpet bombings. I showed the um, in Nevada, the test site that's there also, Nevada test site. They still today do nuclear testings and whatnot, and bombing the area. Look at the ground there. Look at the craters at the Nevada test site. They are identical to the craters on the moon. They're not cone shaped. They're not naturally formed craters. You don't have to be a professional to find that out either. Remedy 59, thanks again. Terry Davis says, I don't watch UFO channels, but I do love what you put out. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And, take it with a grain of salt, Terry. What I'm showing, they're only called UFOs because they're unidentified objects. They're not necessarily all spacecraft, right? The ones I showed on the moon with smoke behind them landing, it could be a manned or unmanned spacecraft with a crew or not. It could be drones. We're not going to hide it. Notice the government's showing UFOs that are blinking. Do you see the last one they just spoke about? Ross Coulthart? It's a UFO with flashing strobe lights like a plane. I'm showing shit that has no strobe lights. Okay. I'm showing real UFOs, but these guys are showing what I believe is military vehicles, right? All military vehicles, could be from, you know, adversarial foreign countries. We don't know. Susan Alt, hello. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Amen. I hope you guys are coming. I hope some of you can. It'll be depending on when, but yeah, listen, in June, middle of June, that's when it's going to happen, guys. We are going camping. I hope. I'll tell you right now, man, Xander, we are going to be at least 15, 20 right now, if not 30, but I'm pretty sure there's at least 15, 20 coming. There's even a friend, Alex, has a friend he hasn't seen in like 20 years. Or I don't know how many years he hasn't seen him, is going to be stopping by also. It's going to be fun, man. Lost another angel here on Earth this week. Our 16-year-old Westy Chester. Bless him. Sorry to hear about that. Remedy 59. Thank you so much. It's quite simply that. I'm not going to hide that maybe I'm lucky to see some of the lights and UFOs. I have a tendency of seeing stuff like that appearing in the images. Guys, listen, you can believe it or not. I have 3 images that make sound. Also, it was an image outside of a UFO. And when I bring that image into the editor, it's a split second of a pulse. Boop. The image has sound in it. That woman that was taking pictures, they came to the conclusion back then that she was actually able to open portals and with her mind control the UFOs to appear in images for her. But look at it the way you want. I do tests like that outside, interacting with the sky, and I do talk to the sky outside, and it's really interesting. Hey guys, I was able to last. I was able to stay on. Trolls are sad. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Yep, that's what happens. Up and down. I should have called this channel the Teeter Totter. The Teeter Totter channel. But that doesn't matter. That's why I tell everyone there are no real subscribers here. We lost 97 in the past 3 days, which is okay. I was at 102,506 last month. We got to the 0.5. So they brought it down to the 0.4, and now we're just in a couple of subs, we're back down to 0.3, which doesn't matter. In reality, you must know that we're not losing subs, right? But we're not gaining. So they subscribed the channels, fake channels, Peter Benton, and Lisa Eckerly, Miss Heard, all the trolls that are here with his girlfriend Leech in the barrel, and then they roll up the subs because they want me to think at the stream that there's going to be a lot of people and stuff. But that's childish, guys. But I keep mentioning it that there we go again. I keep mentioning it so that they think that it's affecting me, and I love it. I love being a thorn in their side. This research should get out. It affects you too, trolls. That's the worst of it. All your families and grandparents and stuff have been screwed over by the system. Some of you trolls have religious grandparents. They're obviously the ones making your soup for you. You should be talking about them, about the truth, instead of trying to attack channels that are showing the truth, like whistleblowers like me. I was going to say me and Edward Snowden because I like I like adding. You got to add to the story. Hey, trolls, I'm the one that should be upset since you're attacking the channel. But I'd love to have a troll come on and debate. No courage. Peter Benton, you guys got to bug him. Why don't you come on with Bruce? Tell Bruce why you're attacking him. We want to know. We want to know the real banjo story. The dueling banjos. Millions of UFO rising. Oh, yes. And they're going to be rising all summer, Stephen A. You know that, man. All summer, they're going to be rising, those UFOs. They're rising 1.9 kilometers away. That's just a little bit over 2,000 feet. The size of them in the sky, if I was to guess, I'd have a hell of a hard time. I'd have to say the size of a barbecue, maybe. They're not the size of ships, I'll tell you that. They would be the size of a Dodge Omni. And that's the ones that are really big. But from what I see, and based on the distance, how high are they rising up? They're rising from 20, 30 feet, but they're appearing out of nowhere. I have videos also, Remedy 59, that show me going into town, which I'll be doing again this summer. I'll be having some people coming by too. Pat, a whole bunch of people will be stopping by. Going to my brother's also soon. My brother's channel, Jason John Swartz, will be live streaming from his house out in the giant field, flat field in the back, many, many miles wide, to be able to see if UFOs are rising up from there. So can I make them appear there like I can here, if it's me making them appear? A lot of you are curious about me doing that test, and I promise you, I will. It'll be fun. Elohim says, Lord Negatron, thank you very much. Thanks for being on Rumble, my friend. Elohim on the moon and half-breed Elohim. Very interesting you talk about the half-breeds, because the interbreeding, by the way, is spoken about in Genesis. Did you know that? They speak about it in Genesis. There's a lot of interbreeding. The Vatican, you know what they say about people who say that aliens are demonic? They say that you're insulting God and that you are limiting God of his creation and what he can create. I like that one. I thought that was really cool. Play of words, maybe. But in reality, I thought that was well said. Honestly thought that was well said. Oh, yeah. That's what you guys got to do. Check out the videos and you will see lots of truth here on the channel. The rarest UFOs of UFO videos on the moon, and the rarest infrared UFO sightings that you have ever seen on the internet. You'll love it. I know I can't say it with a straight face. And it shows, Evelyn, that you're following the channel. I love you for it. Our winter is setting in Burr. Oh boy. Hope you're all well and happy. Love to you all. Thank you. Oh, and what is the winter weather in New Zealand? Like 15 degrees? 10 degrees? I wonder. It's not nice of me to laugh about that, because in reality, you guys are used to, you got winters too. I remember going to Florida, Cocoa Beach, first time I'd ever gone to Florida, and for Christmas, went out there, Christmas Day, run to the beach, dive in. What are all these blue shit things on the ground? Jellyfish. Okay. What's all that triangular shit there? Those are shark teeth. Okay. Sure. I mean, it's my first time, right? Oh, palm tree leaves. I think I walked around with a palm tree leaf all day. Just wanted to see palm trees and stuff. And then almost died. I thought I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was horrified. I was afraid of the US military for the first time, and it traumatized me. I still remember it like it was yesterday. I was a kid. I guess near Cocoa Beach, you could see launches from there. I wasn't into space back then. I was into swimming and eating slushes, right? Eating slushes. So there was a launch or something happened when I was there that year in Cocoa Beach, and the raging sound of the object that launches the spacecraft on a mission, that big motherfucking bomber or whatever the hell it is. I call it a bomber, giant wings. I almost shit on the beach. I tell you, I was with my brother. Oh my God. I was so impressed about that. Right in Cocoa Beach. So I guess, I don't know. You're probably going to tell me if I'm a liar or not. Is Cocoa Beach a nice area to see something launch? I don't know where the plane was coming from. Obviously, Florida, NASA, somewhere like that. But we saw my brother and I an incredible. I wonder if my brother remembers that. Probably not, or maybe he does. But it was pretty incredible. Watched a vid yesterday. Says Sabinator about auroras being seen in places never seen before. Absolutely. And the bloke saying it was saying, "Are we due for a pole flip?" Very fascinating. It is, and you're right, Sabinator. We are seeing auroras, and here in my case, aurora borealis in the north. But yeah, they're around the world where they've never been seen before. As a matter of fact, there should be a gap of many hundreds of years between total eclipses. But the one last in 2017 that went back over again the U.S. this time, that's the only recorded total eclipse that came by twice like that. It should be 300 years. They were saying, right? To go over the same spot. Like here, people don't realize it. They say total eclipse, Bruce, in Quebec, 2044. No. Back here in Quebec, 2106. It's not ever coming back here till that time. So I had enough of one. Don't want to risk a second one. We could still be expecting to see some weather phenomena. It arrived in the worst time. Seriously. You guys absolutely rock. They need to grow a pair before they send a pair. Well said, Susan Ravella. Absolutely. Yeah, Darla buffering on her side. Sorry about that, Darla. Just down for a couple more minutes here. Si la Lune a été bombardée depuis la Terre, if the moon was bombed from Earth, why does its face, the hidden face, have more craters? Niamor, l'Ancien, could it be because it flipped or it turned? Or maybe over a short period of time, it turns. Peut-être la Terre était l'autre côté de la Lune. Hein? Ou bien, moi, tu poses cette question-là, Niamor, selon moi, le Soleil a explosé. Puis avec une explosion du Soleil, une éjection de masse coronale, tu vas avoir le plasma qui va se solidifier, puis qui va envoyer des gigantesques morceaux, selon moi, très près, là, directement frapper la Terre ou la Lune, et probablement que la Lune était là. Si tu en as côté la face de la Terre, mais comme j'avais mentionné, ça se peut que ce soit nous qui a bombardé la Lune, par exemple. In theory.
Here's what I found about In Theory. In Theory is the 25th episode of the 4th season of the American science fiction television series Star Trek. The Next Generation.
She's like an ex-girlfriend that you don't want to talk to anymore, that she just keeps calling or talking when you don't want to hear her talking. That's funny. Siri likes talking to me, but when I go, "Hey, Siri," she usually doesn't respond to me. Bruce, did you get 1,000 subs for your Spanish channel? No, not yet. Astronomia of Nice. And I'm going to bombard it with like hundreds of videos this summer. I'm really anxious for that. I have a Spanish channel also, you guys. Thanks for bringing it up. And you guys can head on over there and subscribe to it. Astronomia. Well, who knows, man? Maybe I am there. I'm saying no. Imagine me having a hard time to find my channel. Not even there. I type in Astronomia of Nice, Bruce Swords. Nope. There it is. What are we at? 949. And it'll be there in 2025 too. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Abuse. Do you think the moon has, like the Earth, many underground buildings? I think it's very possible. I think it's very, very possible. There you go, Alex. He's bringing up along the same lines as me. Exactly, bro. Did the moon once spin? Or it never did? I wonder. I would say it did. I would say all planets and moons should be spinning. The moon, don't forget, the moon does rotate. It rotates just like Earth, but they say that the moon rotates simultaneously in synchronous rotation, which is so much full of shit. Excuse the expression. It's always turning. So that means the only thing I can wrap my mind around is that would be the moon, and that Earth would be continually turning like this, and the moon would be continually turning at the same time as Earth is turning, while the sun's rising up around them. There's something not right about that, eh? It's like it doesn't make any sense. But they say the moon does rotate, and it takes a month. Here, the Earth rotates in 24 hours. That's what they say. So to give you an idea of the difference of the speed that they would have, but apparently it has a core inside of the moon, a mantle, whatever. I don't know if it's a mantle, they call it a core. By the way, the same size, very similar to Earth's core. They found that out the end of 2023. They just mentioned that. Yep, they could absolutely be underground on the moon. Yeah, thank you, Remedy 59. Yeah, I did show some of it, and they're coming up from the smokes and hazes. So there's some descending levels on the moon, some pretty exciting things that they're not telling everyone. So we had an amazing show today, guys, a show of people. I really appreciate you all for stopping by and the interest that you have in my channel. Yes, Joel. John O'Bannon, thank you very much. You guys ever mark the day that you get chemtrailed? I have taken note of that. It's honestly like I don't have an exact schedule documenting it, but looked like during the eclipse it was crazy, and they're basically always spraying here, and sometimes I go a whole day or two maximum without them spraying, but I should start documenting that more. Anti-gravity devices used for heavy lifting. Why use disobedient apes? Lord Megatron, very smart you are. Have you ever heard of the magnetic mountain where the cars go up backwards on the mountain? Have you guys ever seen that video? You get down a hill. It's a massive hill, and you get to the bottom of the hill. I think it's in the States. I could be wrong. And you just sit in your car. Could be the UK. You sit in your car and you put it in neutral, and the objects starts, the car starts going back up the hill. You pour water bottle on the ground, and the water starts going up. Some people say it's an optical illusion. It looks like the road's going up. No, it's going up. It's an effect that nobody knows why that happens. So when I see that video, I get excited. I say, imagine it's just a technology. When they find out why that car is backing upwards, it's lifting a couple of 1,000 pounds up a hill in neutral, by the way. When they find out how to do that, maybe they're going to find out how the Egyptians levitated certain objects, right? It could be that they were completely, unless it could be, obviously they were way more advanced than us. And in everything, sorcery, spirituality, physics, mathematics, astronomy, astrology, they were well advanced. We cannot reproduce, okay, have you guys, the temples and Mayan temples, and did you see the details in, where is it? Gosh darn it, dog gammit. I wish I knew the exact area where they are. Listen, they started off by the tops of the mountains. They had a machine to engrave right there. And they engraved complete dynasties and castles inside of the mountains. We can't do that today. They engraved the facade, all the front with different etchings of and big characters and stuff, all literally carved right in the stone and rock, done many thousands of years ago, which is ridiculous. So obviously they dumbed us down. We don't know anything. They fought against the people back in the day because they were sorcerers, guys. They were magicians. They were spiritual. They were all priests. They were all scribes and priests and intelligent, documenters of nature in the world. Like nobody talks about that entirely, that part where everyone back then must have been doing this, documenting nature, coming up with new names for insects and whatnot. But no, because they created it all in labs. Obviously, I even think they built the fucking mountains. To be honest with you, Sinus Iridum is a mountain that's built. So if you see those things in the mountains, those big squares, maybe they're cut out blocks. Maybe it's a square mountain, literally cut out. So anyways, it remains so interesting. A lot of possibilities. Yep, harmonic resonance. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for coming by. A slave working race, we become, we are slaves with benefits. Look at it the way you want. We're here for, we work, we get to the end of the month and we get to go on a trip with our family. Not me, but some people do. Good for you guys, After working 10 bloody years in a place, you get 2-3 months off. You want to take your vacation and go with your family. You find some relaxation and you get more relaxed and you come back and you're good for another year till the next vacation. But we're in a prison. It's a big concentration camp. The same way we hold animals in the zoo. An apple. Oh, look, an apple on a string outside. Monkey climbs up the apple, up the string, eats the apple, goes back, takes a dump, goes back to bed, gets up the next day. There's an orange. Look, there's an orange on the... Well, that's what we're doing. We get up, an apple tree, fire, building blocks to build houses and stuff. We're being watched. So that thing that I used to laugh at when people said you're in the snow globe, I'm like, how corny is that? Like, do you not do any research just to say we're in a... Yep. Now, the more I research, I'm saying, hey, yeah, we are in a cone globe. We are in the snow globe where a storm. You know what I mean? I think it's a good theoretical way of explaining exactly what's going on. They hide the truth from us. We don't live in an illusion of a simulation. We're living in a physical simulation where they lied to us about everything. What is up is down. What's down is up. What's hot's cold. What's cold's hot. Everything's the opposite. What's solid is not solid. Yeah. Was this an animal? That's too bad about that, man. I'm sorry about that, Grip. They're family members. Those animals become really real family members. We miss them, Remedy 59, you are on the money about that, my friend. Yeah, there's a lot going on. And again, there's some good happening. We don't see the good, but there is some good happening. Some things, you just said it well. Big deals getting done. Things are being finalized, Remedy 59. Hopefully soon. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Star Hunter, I love you, man, so much. I thank you so much for the incredible support, the comments, for coming to all the streams, man, for checking me out on my music channel. Guys, I have a music channel called Bruce's Music. If ever you guys want to help me get to 1,000 subscribers, we're almost there. I want to monetize it and start producing my own videos, my own music videos, give out lessons and stuff, on the goal of getting a bit more funds for the research here, which will never end, by the way. Cross my fingers, your fingers for tonight. Hopefully, the Divine Sorcerer, Sprad, paranormal.com, SPRAD, paranormal. Bro, thanks for being here, man. And thanks for supporting the channel, bro. Thanks for being a member. All that you guys do. Back in 1986, Wolfhound. Thanks, bro. He witnessed Wolfhound, a craft on the ground, off in the forest, about a 1 kilometer off. That's incredible. I have yet to experience that. I'll tell you about a story. I saw one at ground level twice, didn't touch ground and wasn't stationary. The highway 1 kilometer off the highway. Oh my God, and saw at least 50 couples each with one child, and they were handed them over to 312. Oh my God, are you serious? That's traumatic enough. It's funny you say 1 kilometer off the highway. Notice when they appear close to you, they appear close, but you're on the highway, right? So you're not going to get out of your car. You're never going to be able to turn with your car to go close to it. That's why I believe they land in barley fields and cornfields, right? That's incredible. But I saw one. It was a sphere, a ball of light that followed me and Martin in the truck. He died. He passed away. He died of cancer. 20-some years old, the guy. Poor guy. And it was a funny guy. And he was afraid of UFOs. And there was one following the truck. He was crying. And me, well, in scary situations, I laugh. I think even in an accident, I'd laugh. That's what happens. It's just I laugh, or I seize up, you know. I saw a UFO light like another vehicle beside us that was following us. So I told him to stop. And when we stopped, the light stopped. He said, "Holy shit." He goes, "A truck is following us with a Q-beam." The reason why he said a Q-beam, he had a Q-beam. He was using it, the Q-beam. He said, "The fucker keeps shining the light on me. I can't see where I'm driving." So he turns the nose of the truck over to the right and he flashes where the light is. So then the light starts coming right at us. Right at us. Boom. He turns with his old Imperial truck guy. He turns around and takes off, starts flooring it to get out, gets stuck. He was flipping out, poor guy. He just painted his truck and fixed his truck, jacked it up and all that, painted the inside of the box. So he wanted somebody to pull him out. So some guy tries to pull him out. Poor Martin. The cord snaps and it goes and it breaks his back window. But on top of it, the clip hit the top part of the box roof and kinked his roof too. Could have killed him. Tabarnak. He was mad, poor Martin. But yeah, he flipped out. That was beside St. Lambert Drilling, on the land of St. Lambert Drilling. I used to go up, we used to go up there. Wasn't even a smoke or drink. It was doing the chasse mobile. It was doing with AM CBs, and upper and lower sideband CBs. I don't know if you guys know about that. You do a bearing and you put your coax in the front of your car to try to locate where people are hiding with jumbo meters, and you go in and try to locate them and find out where they are. So we used to have a lot of fun with that. And that is when we saw that UFO following us along the 30, 1 kilometer off from us. And I saw it right there along that 30, a massive UFO fly by with massive wings. It had no nose or tail. It was just 2 pairs of wings with an egg-shaped object in the center. And it had pieces of tarps, long, like maybe a mile and a half wide, was just dangling. All these pieces were dangling off the wings. It looked like it had to take off real quickly. And again, I say UFO, it looked like a vehicle. It looked like a flying vehicle. It was 10 times the size of a regular plane, but it looked like a regular military vehicle or something that was going by. So yeah. Journey of Life, Bob Dean, what he said about that theory. Bob Dean, don't know Bob Dean. You can send me some mail, and that's where you can send it. I want to thank you all for coming by, my friends, so very much. We made it almost to 7 o'clock, lasted 2 hours with you all. I didn't even have to get off with my sore eye. And if I missed anyone's comments, forgive me. I would have loved, as always, to try to get to them all. I'll allow you to continue your evenings and whatnot. We are Wednesday, so the next stream will be on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern and 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. If you're new to the channel and you're getting off here, please take time to subscribe to the channel. It's not an obligation, but it'll help me as a host reach other people. It's the algorithm of YouTube. Liking the videos also helps very much. I know a lot of you are sharing out the videos, and I thank you very much. Rumble platform, X platform, and YouTube mods and new family, thank you very much for being here. I'll see you all on the flip side, and thanks for commenting. Bye-bye for now. Thanks, everyone, for the generous contribution.